All right, you guys. So I'm here live with the brother, Mr. Pittman, Mr. Randy, uh, Dexter Pittman. Am I right about that?
Yes.
Okay, man. It's nice to meet you, and I appreciate you coming on in and joining us over here at Ticket TV. I had actually a few days ago, I think it was on the 23rd. I think you filed a lawsuit,
Mhm.
and I saw the lawsuit pop up, and I actually did a video about that lawsuit because I found it quite interesting that Sean Combs already had a lot of lawsuits out against him.
Yeah.
But your lawsuit was very interesting because your lawsuit was the first one that included, I believe, Fonzworth Bentley. And
Yeah.
so that really threw me for a loop. Uh, and that really had a lot of people's heads spinning because we saw him in that era with Sean Combs a lot.
Mhm.
So that made a lot of people just think, man, this is crazy. Like we've seen him all the time with Sean Combs for a period of time, and then he stopped. But we never knew uh, these type of things were going on in the general public until all of these allegations against Diddy started coming out from multiple people. Now Diddy has come out and he has denied all of these allegations against him. He says everybody, all you guys are lying. He
Mhm.
says that you guys are fabricating stories and making these things up. You, which I thought was very interesting. You did an interview with your brother Donat, and I thought that was a great interview that you did over there. So salute to him for the interview that you did with him as well. And you guys go check that out. You, Randy, you came out and you actually uh, dropped your law. You actually, I should say, released your lawsuit to the world, and you have photos.
Yeah.
These are some photos that you have from that event. Now,
Right.
first thing I want to ask you is how did you what were you doing that actually got you into this circle to where you were able to be at that event?
I mean, this was a public event. This was not a private event. This was a fashion show that, is marketing his lifestyle brand.
Right. So no. So like, what were you doing? What was your line of your field of work before you were into this field of fashion or things like that? Because I saw in your lawsuit you said that you were a part of a options
Options Talent, yes. It's a
option.
modeling agency.
Okay. Can you explain a little bit about that? What you guys were?
So I was just a talent scout. I was just, someone that was going out into the city, go to different events, different places, and find people who are interested in getting into the modeling industry.
Right, right. Okay, so then how did you actually find out about this event with Sean Diddy Combs and Fonzworth Bentley and these guys that were going to be present at this event at the mall? Because you said it was
Well, I
at
mean,
Lennox.
there was several people at my office that day that they were aware of the event, and matter of fact, it was me and three other people from my office that decided to go out there. So I wasn't alone when I went there. I was with other colleagues from work, but I'm the only one that was introduced to Sean Combs and was part of this um, after party.
Right. So did you was this your first time going to this type of event, or had you gone to certain events like this before? So you kind of understood how these type of I guess talent events go down.
No, I've been to many different sets of music videos and stuff like that, so I was completely aware of what's going on.
Okay, okay. So you arrived there, and I was like I said, I was reading your lawsuit, man, and I just like how you got right to it. I
Mhm.
mean, Sean Combs, him, and also Fonzworth, their teams, their legal teams, and themselves, they're going to have their own opinions about what you're saying and your allegations. But you seem like you're pretty firm on your allegations and what you said happened.
Right.
Just from me watching the interview that you did with Donat. Now
Mhm.
you said at the beginning of your lawsuit. And I also want to ask you this. So you said at the beginning of your lawsuit, you said basically this was at Lenox Square Mall in Atlanta, Georgia.
Yes.
Okay, so how did you actually get to that event? Did you go with somebody else or did you go by yourself?
Well, like I said, there was me and three of the people from my office that went. Um, I rode with someone else to the mall, and it was, I don't know. You can look at the metadata on the pictures, and you can see basically like a timeline of events. So the fashion show started, I almost say probably around 6:30, something like that. It lasted a couple hours, and so by the time that the show was underway and was moving on, the people from work had already told me, they were getting ready to leave, and if I was going to stay, I needed to find a way to get back to get my car. And so by this time, they had already told me, just let them go. Don't worry about it. We got you. And of course, I rode with them after we left the mall.
Now, you allege that in your lawsuit that Derek Watkins, also known as Fonzworth Bentley, he approached you at this event.
Yeah.
How did that situation happen? Like, what were you doing, and then he approached you? How did that come about?
Well, there was so in the beginning, there was not a lot of organization at this event. There's just a lot of people. You see the pictures. I mean, people just standing around mingling, and I guess me and the people that was with me, we may have stuck out. As they may have identified us as, someone in the industry or with connections to the industry, and for whatever reason, whoever it was that introduced me to Bentley, he came up and he's the one that approached me and asked me, what is it that we do? What is it that I do? And, he proceeded to ask about females, if there was any females there that I represented or that worked with me.
Oh, okay. So let me get this straight. So the guys you're talking about that you were around, were these guys in this picture? Because you guys look like you guys are they look like they're photographers. They look like they're there doing real work.
Okay,
they look like.
So this is not. I don't know these people right here. The people that are in that picture there. I don't. Those people actually worked either for Sean Combs or they worked for the third party that was either set up the venue, or I don't know who those people are. But
okay, so you were a whole different set of people.
Yes. Those people.
Okay. I see
so
that. And
the reason that I was even in that picture with those particular people is because, as you see, I have a media packet. I wasn't there. I didn't work for Sean Combs. I didn't work for this event. I didn't work for the mall. I didn't work for none of these people. So the reason that I was given this media kit is because Sean Combs wanted me to be in the more exclusive of an area, where he had complete access to me at any time. So he'd give me the media kit and, told me basically just stay in this area. And, if anybody asks, just tell them you're working with me.
Yeah. Now I want to get to that because, man, so you're giving me new information because I thought just by looking at that picture, I thought those are the guys you were working with or you came with, but you actually, like you said, you came with a whole different set of people. And Fonzworth, he noticed you, or him and Diddy recognized you, or they felt like you. I guess you say you stuck out. You guys looked like you guys were important to somebody, so that made them, in your mind, approach you based off of their thoughts about your intentions there or the group of people you were with.
Yes.
Okay, so you said Fonzworth approaches you, and he instantly starts asking about girls and stuff like that.
Yeah, he was just asking, like, who is it you work for? What are you, what is your business being here? And I just told him, we're just here looking for potential models. If there's anyone here that looks like, we want to interview them and get to know them and invite them into the office for a meeting. And that's when he realized, that we are actually in the modeling industry. And, he said, where's the girls at? Because this obviously is his clothing line is not for females, so every one of the models that are here were all male models. So that's why he was asking, like, do we have any females with us, any female models? And I'm like, no, I don't. But, that's when he was asking me, can you find some?
Right. So now he asked you, now you said in your lawsuit, you said that he asked you, Fonzworth Bentley, Mr. Watkins asked you, or he basically offered you entry into the party. on
Yeah.
the condition that you bring these female guests along.
Yes. Right.
So he basically, and what you're saying is he used you as I guess an in between guy to get these girls to come with him.
Right.
Okay, so let me ask you this question because I saw a lot of people wanted to ask you this question. Um, you said in your lawsuit, and you spoke about, you said there were threats of violence. Now, did what made you? I don't know if that's what made you actually go get these girls for them. What made you go get those girls? Because I've seen some people criticizing you, saying that why would you go get the girls and take them to Fonzworth and to Diddy?
So my objective wasn't had anything. I didn't have nothing to do with the girls. That was not my objective. My objective was the lure from Sean Combs, basically implying that why do I need to work for the company that I was working for when I can find talent to supply for his fashion shows? So
Right.
you see, he was basically dangling this in front of me, saying, just forget what you're doing with them. Why don't you come work for us? And you can do the same thing, but you're basically going to have access to be with us, while we're moving around and doing these things.
Right. So okay. So how did you feel when you said that they said okay, bring the girls? How did you feel when you went and got those girls? Because you said that in your lawsuit, you said that you knew that they were underage.
Oh, I knew they were, but that wasn't what. Like I said, that wasn't my motivation. Was not the females. I was not interested in the females. So they asked me to approach the girls and ask them if they wanted to come to, because what happened was the mall actually shut down
Right.
for him to go in and do this interview inside Riches, which
Right.
was where they carried his lifestyle brand. And so when I approached these girls, I said, hey, do you guys want to meet Sean Combs? And of course, they're like, absolutely. So I said, okay, well, after the show's over, we're going to go down to the mall and he's going to do an interview with the media. And after the interview, if y'all want to, they're wanting you guys to go back and they're going to have an after party. And of course, they were interested.
Okay. So that is how basically you get attached into bringing them to the after party. Now, there's a picture that you showed,
Mm-hmm.
and in this picture, I don't know if you said that you took this picture or not.
Yes, I took that.
So you took that picture right there?
Yes.
Okay, okay, good. So there's a bodyguard that's beside Diddy. His name is Gene Deal.
I know it is.
Gene Deal, what was in your words, what was his role that night as far as you observed? He was just a bodyguard because you didn't put him in a lawsuit. You didn't accuse him of anything in the lawsuit. But
Mm-hmm.
what was his role? Because you took a picture and he's there, and you said, "Go ahead."
So I didn't have much in the form of interaction with him. He rode in a separate vehicle with Sean Combs to the hotel. When we were inside Riches, I would say that my conversation with him was less than 5 minutes. We went into the department store. They had a complete area set up just for the interview he was doing. It was, filmed in the area where his clothing line was carried. And so when we went inside, we just sat down there and I had a very brief conversation with him. And after the conversation was over, when we left, there was 4 SUVs. And so me, Bentley, and the 2 females was in one of the SUVs, and the other 3 was accompanied by other people.
Now, to ask you a little something more about Gene Deal,
Mm-hmm.
he was he or was he not in the room when this alleged crime took place?
So he came in the room probably 2 or 3 different times, just kind of sticking his head in. he came in and had a drink at one time, but he was not present when the sexual assaults and the other things took place.
So do you think that Gene Deal knows that happened that night, or do you think that, based off your observation, what do you think he has any role in this situation as far as knowing or complicit or being complicit or anything like that?
There's no doubt in my mind he knew exactly what was going on.
Now, why would you say that? Because you said that you said he went in drunk and he had a drink, he left out, but he didn't witness what was going on with you guys.
No, but he knew he knew what was going on. He did not have a role in it, but he knew what was going on. There's no doubt in my mind.
Okay, was there any other? Did you see any other like security around them that night as well, or was it just Gene that you saw?
So there was the other guy. He's also pictured in one of the images that was taken inside the department store. He was also part of his security detail, and I don't know what his name was though.
Was he in the room? Was any of the security detail inside of the room, or they all were outside?
No, there was at one time there was the tall guy that's in the picture. He was in the room.
No, you're not talking about Gene Deal, right?
No.
Okay, there's a different picture. Okay, I know you're talking about now. There's a different picture with another black guy that's behind. I think he's like
Correct.
in the back.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I'm going to show my viewers that picture later on. I'm going to go get that picture because I did see that picture. I know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go back a little bit. So you guys leave, and you say y'all leave in different vehicles. You said that Gene's in a vehicle with Diddy.
Correct.
And you were in a different vehicle with the girls. So Diddy didn't have the girls in his vehicle with him and Gene.
Correct.
So it was 4 vehicles, you said, pretty much. It was 4 different. Okay, so I guess, a driver that Diddy had that was taking you guys, and the 2 girls, that was the only people that was in that car?
And Bentley was in the car with us.
Oh, and Bentley was in the car with you?
Yes.
Ah, okay. So you guys must have had like an SUV or something like that?
It was all 4 of the vehicles were Cadillac Escalade.
Oh, okay. So you guys all had Cadillac Escalades, and he was in the Cadillac. Okay, I got you now. Okay. So you guys go over to the hotel. Do you remember the hotel y'all went to?
Yes.
What hotel did you guys go to?
I'm not going to reveal that right now.
Okay. No problem. I'm not even going. If you don't want to go into it, I'm not going to press you on that.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys get to the hotel, like you said, and Diddy basically, he's at the hotel. Did he get there before y'all got there, or did y'all get there at the same time?
We all got there at the same time.
Okay, and so did he direct you guys, or who directed y'all up to whatever room y'all was going to?
So when we got to the hotel and we pulled into the valet, we all got out, and he handed me 2 room keys. Bentley already had room keys, and so when we got off the elevator onto the floor we were staying, or where the rooms were at, Bentley went to his own room. He had his own room, and he said, "Here's the room for you guys." So we went in that room, and we just was sitting in there waiting. And then that's when Diddy came in, and also Gene Deal.
So basically, Bentley took you to the room.
Yeah.
And then, so Bentley took you to the room. Diddy wasn't in the room, but then Diddy came in the room.
Correct.
And then you're saying that Gene came with Diddy.
Yeah, they came in the room together. And then, like I said, Deal was only in there for just a few minutes. And then he went to, I guess, his own room. And then that's when Diddy had came in and he started messing with the girl and, brought in the ecstasy and the liquor, stuff like that.
Now, let me ask you this question. And I know that you're not going out your mind or anything like that, but I just have to ask you. You're 100% sure that Bentley, Fonzworth Bentley, and Sean Diddy Combs knew that these girls were underage?
Absolutely. There was no doubt in my mind.
There was no asking for identification. There was none of that.
Matter of fact, I even made the comment, when we were, when I first met, when when he first said those, and he pointed at the girls, I didn't even know what to say or what to do.
Hold on. You said he said those, so he pointed out the girls he wanted.
Yes, absolutely.
So hold on. Who pointed out? Was it Diddy or Fonzworth Bentley that you're saying?
Bentley. Bentley's the one he said those are the girls that Diddy wants or Puffy wants. And so when I look over, I recognize exactly who he's pointing to. I just couldn't wrap my mind around that this is really who he was pointing to. And so when he points at these girls, I said, who are you talking about? And he said, those two right there. And I look again and I'm thinking in my head, bro, these are not young women. These are children. And I said, are you sure? I said, bro, them are young girls. He said, yeah, that's what he likes. I said, all right, I'll go ask them if they want to go.
Now, how old were you at that time? You in your 20s?
22.
Okay. Oh, you were younger that time, man. That's okay. I see what you're saying. Okay, so at that time, did you have any fear? Because in your lawsuit, you spoke about you said specifically that threats of violence.
Yes.
What made you put that in the lawsuit where you said threats of violence?
It was the demeanor, the attitude, like when he came in with ecstasy and stuff like that and told the girls, you're going to take these pills. Like, he didn't ask them, hey, do you want to try this? Do you drink? Have you ever drank? He didn't say that. He came in with a very arrogant and commanding tone and demeanor about himself. And he literally forced the girl to take the ecstasy pills. Whether she wanted to or not, she was going to do it. And when I said something, it just like I said, I didn't know this guy at the time. You know, I knew who he was, right, obviously, but I didn't know him like a personal relationship. I didn't know who he was. And so when I said something and you could tell it really pissed him off. It really offended him that I even spoke up. Like,
now, what exactly did you say? Because you said you spoke up. What is that? Do you remember exactly what you said?
So when he was telling the girl she's going to take it, I said, man, she may not want those. She may not know what that is. And he looked at me and he said, don't question me. Do you know who I am? And I'm like, okay, it's your party.
Man. So then after that, you're saying, okay, so after he gives her the pills, did you take a pill too?
Yes.
Now, so you took a pill too.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know what it was when you took the pill?
I mean, he told us it was ecstasy. I don't know if that's what it was. I have strong suspicion that's probably what some of them were, but he had a whole bag full of pills.
Okay. So now after you guys were given the pills, mm-hmm, then what happened? So it's in the room right now is you,
it was Bentley, me, Diddy, and the two girls. And
so Fonzworth's not in the room.
Not when the pills were being disseminated. No, he was not in the room at that time. When he was given the pill, it was me, him, Deal, and the two girls. As soon as the girl took the pills, and as soon as I said that, and he kind of flared up at me, that's when Deal walked out of the room. And you know, I ain't gonna say fearful, because I guess I wasn't scared of anything, but I knew who Deal was. Not really, I didn't know who he was, but I knew what his role was in this organization. You know, he was.
You had seen him before, probably in documentaries and stuff like that from the whole Tupac situation, probably.
Yeah, but I just knew that he was the enforcer. You see what I'm saying? Like, I knew that's the that was the coat he was wearing. And when he left the room after Diddy had kind of bowed up at me, I didn't know what he was doing. I didn't know if he's going to get a gun. I didn't know if he's getting, whatever he's got to do. I didn't know what he was going to do.
So when Diddy said something to you, y'all took the pill, Gene got up and walked out the room, and you say you basically just didn't know what was going to happen when he got up and walked out.
Right. I didn't know where he was going, what he was doing, what was going to happen. Like, we just was there, and it wasn't like I had any backup. I'm there with two fucking kids,
Right. So he walks out, and then you said Fonzworth Bentley walks in.
Yeah, he came in about less than 30 seconds after Deal walked out. He came in.
Okay, so now it's just you, Diddy, Fonzworth, and the two girls, right?
Right.
Now, what happens? Like, because you said that they sexually assaulted the girls and you,
yes.
Or just the girls?
All of us.
Man, what was going through your mind when this was going on? Like, how did they start? Did they start with you, or did they start with the girls?
They started with the girl. So it was Diddy, and he started with the girl, the one that was 13 years old. He didn't come in, like I said earlier. He didn't come in and try being, some nice guy and this and that, trying to talk to the girl. Can I get you something? Whatever. He come in and made it very clear, that he was running the show, and whatever he wanted was going to happen.
Who took those pictures right there that you're in with Diddy and Fonzworth that night, and you and Diddy? Because those are like two different cameras from.
No, it's just one of them was taken in the area where the interview was filmed, and then the other one with me and Bentley, was taken as soon as we came into the mall, so it was more light down there.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. So that's why the lighting had changed inside of the two areas right there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so basically you're saying that you guys are in the room. Diddy starts with the girl, and what is Fonzworth doing at that time? Is he just watching, or is he participating?
So he was just kind of watching, and then that's when he went and sit on. The other girl was sitting on a sofa inside the room, and he went over and sat beside her, and that's when he started messing with her.
So hold on. So that you're talking about Fonzworth, or you talking about Diddy?
Yeah. No, Diddy was on the bed with the other girl.
Okay, so Fonzworth went directly to the other girl.
Yes.
Okay, and then how did you get involved? How did it become you? Or let me say this first. Let me ask you this first.
Mm-hmm.
From your account, were the girls unable to? How did the girls react after they took those pills?
I mean, none of us really knew. We were intoxicated. I mean, that's all I can say.
So did you see any type of rejection or?
Yeah, the girl that was with Bentley she wasn't really about that. She wasn't. The girl that was with Diddy, there was no fight to her. Like, this was something that she actively wanted and participated. But the other girl was just kind of there with her friend, and she was definitely not a willing participant.
Okay. So, and you don't know the name of the other security guard that was in that other picture?
No, I don't know that guy's name.
Okay. But you saying that was one of the guys who was in that entourage, allegedly. That was one of the guys, security guys.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. So how long is it before then they get you involved?
So I would say probably 20 minutes, 30 minutes. He just kind of brought the girl over to where I was sitting. And
who was it? Is it you talking about Diddy or Fonzworth?
Yeah, no, Diddy.
Okay. Oh, so Diddy's the one that you're saying that you're saying it initiated with you.
Yes.
Okay, so he brings the girl over to you.
Right.
Okay. And then now you're saying that Diddy sexually assaulted you. Now explain to everybody that's going to be listening, why do you say that? Because some people are going to say, well, hey, with you, was it consensual or not consensual? Why would you say that it was forced with you?
Well, it wasn't a sexual encounter, I'll put it that way. It was a sexual assault in the sense that he was groping and these things, that was unwanted and definitely not consensual.
Of you.
Yes.
Okay, so Diddy comes over with the girl. And you're saying that Diddy starts groping you, and
Yes.
you were not consenting to that.
Correct.
Okay, and the whole time it's just you, Diddy, the two girls, and Fonzworth in the room.
Yeah, but the other guy, the tall guy, wasn't there at this time.
So now the other guy comes in, the other security guy comes in.
Mm-hmm.
So is he participating or is he just watching like
No,
muscle?
he was just standing close to the door.
Okay, so he's standing on the inside by the door.
Yes.
But you don't see Gene Deal anymore. You don't see him anymore.
He didn't come in probably for, I don't know, maybe about 45 minutes to an hour after we were in the room, and all this was going on, is when Deal came in, and he was only in for, a few minutes. He came in, talked to the tall guy, and then he left the room again.
Now, let me ask you this, because everybody's going to ask you, are you 100% sure this event happened? Because everybody's going to ask you, a lot of people are going to come asking you about this. Are you 100% sure that this event that you have described in this lawsuit happened as you have said it?
Absolutely.
Okay, and also, why do you think that you waited until now to file this lawsuit?
Well, to be honest with you, as I said earlier, filing it before when I filed it was really not an option because I was incarcerated. And, there was nothing I didn't have the means to file this from federal prison. And so when I got out, I really still wasn't interested in filing it and pursuing this. But the more that I've seen this stuff going on and knowing what really took place and who he really is, as I said earlier, this is not about me. This is not about me trying to get justice for myself. I mean, yeah, it's all right, to expose these people for who they are, but I'm hoping that one or both of those girls that was there that day, that they recognize what's going on and they reach out to me.
I salute you for your honesty about your incarceration. Now, how long were you incarcerated after that event happened? Like how long? No. How much time was it in between then that you got incarcerated? Like how many years later did you get incarcerated after this alleged event happened?
9 years.
So 9 years after that, you got incarcerated.
Right.
And how long were you incarcerated for before you actually were released?
I've been incarcerated 8 out of the past 10 years.
Man, now let me ask you this question: do you feel like if you could have went back and did something differently that night, do you feel like you would have done that, or do you feel bad in a way because people are going to try and criticize you? A lot of people are going to criticize you, say, "Hey man, why not take those girls? Why take those girls over there? Why not reject, what Bentley or what Diddy allegedly told you about, or Bentley you said about bringing those girls over there? Why not say to yourself, hey man, these are young girls. This might not be a good idea."
I mean, I'm not above criticism. I don't care because I didn't pursue these girls for myself. Okay.
Right.
I was enticed by the same thing that probably every other person that has been in a similar situation with Sean Combs, in that he was more or less using his celebrity and his, this was 2003, bro. This was Sean Combs in 2003. Okay. And him making the comment, you ain't got to worry about working with this company you're with. You can come work for us. All you got to do is find the models, to do these fashion shows and stuff like that. I mean, it was a stretch, but it was an opportunity at the same time. And, I was 22 years old, and this is Sean Combs offering you essentially a dream job or whatever, like who wouldn't want to go work for him? And so when he asked me to go get, it was just part of doing business.
Now, how did you end up with that envelope right there that says Sean John?
So that was the media kit that day, and he gave it to me because he said, if that'll what, because I was not in the area where just the normal guest that was there. I wasn't in the same area as where you see him right there behind the fence. I'm on this side of the fence with him.
That's you taking a picture. That's actually you taking that picture.
Yeah, I was holding the camera up and I took the picture from, where he was doing autographs for the people there on the other side of the fence.
Who told you to take pictures? Because in the lawsuit you said that Diddy told you to take pictures?
Yeah, he told me to take pictures, and if anybody asks, just tell him I'm his photographer. I'm his personal photographer.
What's that in your right hand right there?
It's a camera.
Oh, so okay, so that's the camera in your hand right there.
Yes.
And then around your neck, that's a camera too?
That's another camera, yes.
Okay, so you had the camera, okay, and then you had the. Now, who gave you that envelope right there with the says Sean John on it?
Sean Combs gave it to me.
So Diddy gave you that envelope right there?
Yeah.
Okay, and who took these pictures with you and Bentley and you and Diddy?
The girls was with me.
So the girls actually took these pictures?
Yes.
Wow. Now, what was I heard you told on that, but for our followers, what were the race of the girls? I know you said one of them was white.
One was biracial.
And one was biracial.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So, okay. And then that's a different envelope, but that's the same one in your hand right there.
That's the same envelope, but that's got just a piece of printed paper over the front of the actual folder.
Okay, so you're saying basically Diddy sees you, he says, hey man, take this envelope right here and just pretend like you're with us, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
And nobody bothered you when you were back there with them, and he told you to take pictures?
Yeah.
Okay. Did he ask for any of the pictures? And let me ask you this: after this event was over with, did you ever go back and talk with Sean again, or hang out with Sean again, or anybody in that crew?
So I was not with him, but I was in this industry, and you run into a lot of the same people, and so I was at a few different venues after this where he was there. We weren't together, but he was there.
Okay, so you actually, did he see you or did you just see him?
No, we spoke. We acknowledged each other.
Now, what did you say to him when you see him? Did you speak anything about what had previously happened, or did you?
No, because it was just that was the predatory thing about him. He just wanted you to remember, that this happened, and he had that control.
Now, you said that he, forcefully, sexually assaulted you. Did he? Was it just oral, or was it? Did he sodomize you, or what?
No, he just groping, just unwanted touching and fondling and stuff like that.
Okay, so he basically sexually assaulted you by basically. Okay, I see what you're saying. I understand what lines you're coming across. But the girls, you're saying that was penetration, everything.
Yes.
Okay, and the other bodyguard you said was in the room. He didn't participate in any of those acts?
No.
Okay, and Gene Deal, you're saying that he didn't participate in any of those acts?
No.
Now, after that was over with, did you see any of those other bodyguards, and how did you get back home?
So that was the problem. That's why I said I didn't know if it was ecstasy that he'd give us or whatever, because it wasn't probably an hour. So I don't remember anything after that. I just know that when I woke up the next morning, I knew that something wasn't right.
Now, how far did you actually live from where you guys were at that time?
Maybe
How far did?
15 minutes.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Okay. I see what you're saying. So it wasn't a situation where you were out of town and stuff like that. You were right. You were in the vicinity, pretty much.
Yeah. This was at Lenox Square, and I lived on Holcomb Bridge Road, which is on exit 7 on Georgia 400. So it's only 15 minutes away, if
Now,
that.
Randy, all these years, did you ever tell anybody about this or a situation? Did you ever
Yes.
confide in anyone? Now, if you can tell us, who did you confide in? Who did you tell about this situation? Because I think that's going to be very important too. If people want to know about that.
Yeah. I mean, I've told a handful of people about this.
Do you have a do people do they tend not to believe your story when you say this?
Well, it's not they don't believe it. It's that people just they don't want to think that this is the way that these people live.
Which floor? Do you remember which floor you guys were on? I'm not going to ask you about the hotel room, but do you remember which floor you guys were on?
Yes, of course.
Which floor were you guys on that day?
I'm not going to discuss it right now.
Okay, cool.
I'm
That's
not
no
going.
problem.
I'm not going to say anything that's going to jeopardize these claims in any way.
Right. So so is it a lot more that you're not saying that you're waiting to present, I guess, in discovery or what?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, no, I'm just asking just so
Yeah,
we
yeah,
can get the information out there.
yeah.
Because I respect the fact that you don't if you don't want to say everything and you
Mhm.
want to save some stuff for discovery, because I know that you don't want to show your entire hand,
Yeah,
you
of
know what I'm
course.
saying, right now. So I understand that.
Mhm.
Also, would you be willing to take if you were challenged to take a lie detector test about that situation happening?
Absolutely. There's no doubt that's not even an issue.
So you would be willing to take a lie detector test that incident that you claim happened with those two girls happened.
Yes, of course.
How did you feel after that situation? And did you see how the girls felt, or did you not really remember?
Well, when we got up the next day, they were well. The one girl I know, she was just distraught. One of them was she regretted it. I know she did. The other one, there was no doubt she was in full denial and regret. But the one that was interested in actually willfully participated. Yeah, I know she wasn't happy about what happened, but I mean, it happened, and it's a story I guess she'll have for the rest of her life.
Did you at that time? Did any of you contact the police or any of the
No,
authorities, or did
not
you
even,
just
not even, didn't even cross my mind.
no? Why didn't you? Why you said it didn't cross your mind, but why didn't you?
Well, because to me, it was just there was no one there that didn't want to be there. We all went because we wanted to, and that's just the way it
So
was.
you okay? So you're basically saying you went because you wanted to go to the party, but you did not. You're saying you did not want to get violated. Is what you're
Right,
saying?
of course, yes.
Okay. So when you arrived, were you surprised? Was it a real party or was it just
No,
you guys?
no, it was not a party.
Oh, so you're saying you were blindsided when you got there and didn't see a real party there.
Yeah, I was under the impression we were going to an after party. Okay, and that's the farthest thing from the truth.
Man. And so who told you that Fonzworth told you or Diddy told you it was an after party at that hotel?
Diddy.
How long did you talk with Diddy before when you
Oh,
saw
I
him at
talked to
this
him
event?
for probably an hour while the fashion show was going on.
Where were you guys talking at? Where do you like were y'all in the back somewhere? Where did y'all talk at?
So if you look at the pictures that I sent, let me look right now. See if I can find the one. So if you look at the picture that I took from the stand, looking at this main stage.
Let me see. I gotta see if you. I don't know if you sent it to me or not. I don't know if you sent it to me or not. But where were you guys at now? You guys were. Where were you when you and Diddy were talking? Where were y'all located at?
That's what I'm fixing to show you.
Okay.
So I'm trying to send this picture to you. I clicked on present, but I don't know how to get it to you.
Okay. What was Diddy looking for there? Just talent?
No, this was his fashion show.
Oh, okay. So he just did the fashion show in the mall, and all the people that was in the mall were just people that were just playing.
No, this is not inside the mall. No. So, let me try to do this. Hold on a second.
Okay.
Screen.
Yeah, you guys, we appreciate having Randy come in here and have a conversation with us. And again, salute to him with his honesty about putting out the situation that he had been previously incarcerated. Because I asked him, I said, why didn't you file this lawsuit? He said, bro, I've been incarcerated. It's kind of hard to file it from federal prison. And so, when he says it like that, let me see if I can show you a screen. Let me see. Okay, yep. Okay, let me see. Okay, yeah. Okay, so that's where that's the picture you took?
Hold on a second, we'll show you where we were at.
All right.
Okay, so
it's outside the mall underneath a big tent.
Yeah.
Okay.
So okay, so Peachtree. Okay, so this is an aerial view of.
Hold on, I'm gonna share the other screen. I'm gonna share that one.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
that's the aerial view of the mall.
Yeah, this is the aerial view of the mall. So the main entrance to the mall is, let's see, where's that? Peachtree. Road. Okay, Phipps Plaza.
Right.
Okay, so all right. So this is an aerial view of the mall.
Mm-hmm.
This area right here, where this parking lot is empty.
Right.
Right there. This entrance right here, right in this area.
Right.
This is where the entrance to Rich's was.
Right.
This parking lot is where you see it's empty right here.
Right.
This is where he set up the big tent.
Okay, so let me get this straight. Okay, so for everybody who's trying to catch up, that other picture that you had posted in the other part, that was the picture actually under the tent, right?
That one.
There, yeah. So that's the actual tent in the actual area you said.
Yes.
Okay, so where were you talking to Diddy at? Where was Diddy at? Where was he located at? Where all those people were there?
So that's what I'm fixing to show you. So this tent is set up right here in this parking lot.
Uh-huh.
All right. If the tent was set up right here in this area where it's dark, to the right, there was another booth, and you see how he is right here. See this?
That's at that event.
Yeah, this is at the same event.
Okay. I'm just clarifying it for everybody who's watching,
Okay, so this was a table, and it was set up. Let me show you this right here. All right. So if the tent was right here like this,
Right.
he had another booth that was covered like right here.
Right.
And then all the trucks were all right behind his booth.
Okay.
Okay. And so when he give me that media packet,
Right.
he had fans that was filing in, coming out of here. They would walk up the little booth where they're here, get their
Right.
picture made, get their autograph, and then they would come out and they would go back to the
Okay, I got it. Now, let me explain to everybody. So that little in between, you guys, what he's saying, that little spot in between,
Yeah.
that's where in the picture he showed Diddy was sitting at that table with those jeans on. He was sitting at the table signing autographs, what you said, right?
Right. These pictures you see right here.
Right, and so people were just coming right past, signing it, and then going back to the other side to where the big tent was.
Yeah, you can see there's a
Okay, I got you. I'm following you now. I'm definitely following you now. So you were over in this area.
Yeah.
That's you taking pictures, right?
Yeah, that's my picture.
Yeah, so that's where you were talking with Diddy at.
Yeah, we were sitting right here at this table speaking during the whole fashion show.
No problem. So you saying basically you had a whole hour conversation with him sitting over there?
Yeah, of course.
Right. Okay. Nah. Hey, man. Listen. I'm just asking the questions. That the people are going to want to hear. I'm just happy that you actually have photos and things like that. Now, you showed a couple other photos as well. You showed a photo of a tall guy that was standing behind Diddy.
Right there.
Now, that was one of the bodyguards that was with him, or
yes.
Now, was this guy following him around everywhere he went, or he was just?
Yeah, pretty much.
Now, where is Gene Deal? Where is he at in this picture? Because I don't even see him in this picture at all.
So I don't think that's him back there, but I don't know where he was at. He was in the same area we were in, obviously, but I don't know that he's in any of the pictures.
Right. Most definitely, man. That's something else, man.
The image right there.
Right. That's him right there in that picture right there.
Yep.
Now, how did you see Big Gene's demeanor? He was a good guy to you, or did he bring any problems to you? Or
I mean, he didn't. There was no problems with me, but I mean, he's just doing what he's supposed to do, I guess, doing his job.
Right. Okay, so this is the area underneath the big tent right here where you took this picture where Diddy's, approaches all the people.
No, so you see right there where it says riches.
Uh-huh.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I see it. I'm right there on it.
Okay, so that is the department store that he carried his clothing line. That's riches. So
right.
If you, like I said, in this right here, that area, the mall would have been right here.
Right.
And what you're seeing where it says riches would have been right there.
Right.
Okay. We were at this time, let's see here. The fence that you're looking at right there was right in here, like shit. The fence kind of came down right here in front of his little booth right there. And so all the people that was under the tent, when we came out to go to the mall, they were behind the fence right here. Those pictures were taken about like right in this area.
Right. Okay, I see what you're saying. Now, okay, I'm following you pretty much now, man. So this whole event was pretty much inside that big tent and inside that small area, and then you guys leave that area.
Mm-hmm.
When you leave that area, you guys go right to the hotel.
Yes.
So it wasn't even an in between. It wasn't even.
No, we went from there to inside the mall, and that's where he done a 30-minute interview with. He had a media appointment that he had to do inside the mall. That's what those pictures you're seeing are. I mean, you can see that's the reporter that done the interview right there. That lady right there.
So okay, so and he brought you with him the whole time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The only people that was inside this mall at this time was either the people in the media or people with him. That was it.
Did he ever ask you for any of these pictures, the copies of any of these pictures?
No.
So he just told you to take pictures, and he never even asked you for the copies of those pictures?
Nope.
Man, that's insane. That's insane, man.
This guy right here was also one of his security guys, and you can see if you look. Let me see, where's that? So right here, you can see this guy right there. See him?
That's a security guy too?
And if you'll see, that's him right there. And I look right here in this picture, you'll see him again. Where's that? Right there, he is again, same person.
How many security do you remember seeing him have that day? More
I would say probably 6.
Man.
Or between 5 and 6.
And they all went back to the hotel?
Yeah, they all went. Everybody went to the hotel together.
But you only saw a couple of them up there on that hall with you?
Yes.
Okay. Man, unbelievable stuff, man. Unbelievable stuff, man. I know Diddy's probably his team. They're probably going to be on you about this, man.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Now, I heard you say in the interview you did with Donat, you said that, hey, man, you ain't afraid. You said, hey, I'm coming to my real name under my real address. I heard you say that, man. I said, man, this guy right here. Now, why did why didn't you file this under a pseudonym or under a Jane or John Doe? Excuse me.
Because I don't give anyone any credibility that hide behind a computer, a phone, or a fake name.
Right. And so basically, because you had said, I asked you why you waited all these years. You said basically one of the reasons because you was incarcerated. Another reason why is because you're seeing all these people that are now stepping up.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, they're being called liars, man. You know what I'm saying that they're, Diddy has denied all these allegations.
Yeah,
and so I'm pretty sure he's going to deny this one because his lawyer said that these are all fabricated lies and all fabricated stories.
Well, like I told the guy earlier in the other interview, like the problem that he's going to have in denying this is there is nobody alive who can tell you that I should have been standing right here with him, or I should have been standing right here with Fonzworth Bentley. Okay, because I didn't work for Sean John. I didn't work for Sean Combs. I didn't work for Riches. I didn't work for any of these people. So for me to be here with these people, there has to be answers for that.
Right.
I mean, I was inside the mall that was closed.
Okay? Now this is a question I forgot to ask you. So to the event, how did those young girls get in that event? Did you take them to that event, or were they already there?
No, they were literally just like you're in the crowd. And so when Fonzworth pointed them out, like we were over in this area, over with the little booth where Diddy was at. And then they were just standing kind of right here at the edge of the tent. And he said,
so you're saying that anybody could have got in there that day?
Yeah, there was no admission. There was no nothing. You could walk up straight from the mall and walk right out here where this was going on.
Okay, because a lot of people were thinking that you actually brought them to the event.
No,
and then you took.
No, I met them at the event just like I met everyone else at the event.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Now let me ask you a question. Now, this is one of the last couple of questions I'm going to ask you. If the police or the federal government were to contact you, would you be willing to cooperate with them?
No.
Now, why not?
I despise the police, bro.
Now, hey, bro, I'm just asking you the question. Hey, it's your answer to put out there, and however you want to put it out there, hey, you got the space to put it out there. So and that's a question that you're going to be asked: is that if they contact you, would you be willing to work, or would you be willing to work with them or give them information about this situation? Because they might contact you about this situation, especially if the other girls step up. Now, what if the other girls step up and then they want to pursue it? Would you then pursue it, or would you still not?
I would corroborate what the girls say, but I wouldn't so much as share these images with the federal government.
Right. Okay, I see what you're saying. Now, why do you say that you despise the law enforcement?
because they're they are the federal prison system and the federal prosecution. That is the largest racket in the United States.
Hmm. Now, do you feel like, I know you say you were incarcerated. Do you feel like there was an injustice done to you, or
Yeah, of course.
now? If you explain it, if you want, I'll give you the platform to explain that.
Well, I mean, I done everything that was alleged. I'm not going to deny my culpability. I done what was alleged, but the way that they went about trying to get me and obtain evidence and stuff like that, like they done me dirty. They done me really, really dirty. And I know that they're doing this guy the same way. Unfortunately, that's just the way they play. And because of that, they would never get any cooperation from me.
Hold on. So you feel like the federal government is doing Diddy dirty too?
No, there's no doubt in my mind.
Now, why would you say that? But you're saying that your allegations against him are true because they're saying that they're accusing him of sex trafficking, solicitation of prostitution, and they're hitting him with a racketeering charge.
So I think these are inflated charges, to say the least. These are what prosecutors call charge bargaining, meaning that most of these charges, they never really expected a conviction, but they levy these charges so that they can try to make you feel like you're getting some kind of good deal to take a plea. And so reason I say I think they're probably doing him dirty is very simple. Let
me ask you this. Do you believe that he committed any of the crimes they say he did? They're accusing him, first of all, of solicitation of transportation, solicitation of prostitution. That means paying prostitutes to go across state lines. They've had some come in court and testify they were paid and brought across state lines. So they've had some come in court and admit that they were paid for that. Mm-hmm. Then he's being accused of sex trafficking. That means coercing, basically, and forced coercion. You understand? And those type of things in order to get a woman to be, trafficked to have sex.
So I think that as far as the criminal element, they're going to get a conviction, in my opinion. I think he's guilty as far as the statute goes, but did these people go to the Hamptons because they were scared of something and they went because of coercion? I don't believe that.
But let me ask you this. Let me push back on you just a little bit, Randy. But you said that Diddy, okay, now you did say this, right? You said that you guys went up to the room, but you said he forced those girls to have that pills.
Yeah.
So that's what some of these people are saying, that it was done by force and coercion, meaning that we seen some of the beatings that we seen on video, right, with this guy. Mm-hmm. We've heard about numerous people say that this dude has been violent with him, beating him and things like that. So that's the part right there where you say that. I'm just like, hold on, but you just said that he forced you. Watch him.
It's just it's a very it's a very.
You think they've had it? You basically, I know what you're trying to say. I think you're trying to say that you think that they have it out for him anyways. Period.
Yeah, the government wants this conviction. His case is so high profile that they're going to look stupid if they don't get a conviction. So they definitely have it out for him. But I do believe that there is probably a large number of these complaints that are levied against him by civil
Right.
suits like mine that probably are not what they're made out to be on paper.
Right.
A lot of these people, they're not. That's why they didn't put their name on their lawsuit. That's why
Right.
they're not. That's why they're not posting these pictures on the internet right now, so you can see firsthand this really did happen. Because in those cases, it probably didn't happen in the way that their lawyers told them it should be. It should be written up.
But do you think that some of that comes from fear too, knowing that he's powerful, he has a lot of contacts, he can find out where you are, dox you, and all this other stuff? Allegedly, things like that. Do you
I
think that some
mean,
people are afraid of that smoke?
that's definitely a possibility, but at the same time, man, like I said, if a lawyer filed these lawsuits for these people, that lawsuit said what the lawyer thought was in the best interest of their client.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you this last question. If you could say anything to Diddy right now, based off the situation that you're alleging happened to you and those girls, what would you say?
I mean, man, I just tell dude, I don't hold no beef against him. I don't have no problem with him. I think he needs help. That's all.
And again, you said you'd be willing to. I mean, you basically are putting everything on your word that these events did happen, according
Yeah,
to what you're saying.
yeah, of course.
And you're saying that the people that could vouch for you are the two girls. And are you saying that as well as the security guards that was there, that you showed in those pictures, they can attest to one that was in the room, can attest to that story?
Yeah, of course. I mean, if they would, I don't know if they would open up.
Oh, show the picture again of the one you said that was in the room. You said the one, I think, with the did he have a bald head? I can't remember.
That guy.
He was in the room,
Yeah,
and saw this stuff.
yeah,
So you're saying that this guy right here can attest without a shadow of a doubt that happened.
yes,
And you're also saying that you said that Gene Deal as well can attest that you guys were in that room.
yeah, of course.
Man, that's hard for somebody to deny. I mean, somebody find out who this guy is and ask him. That's hard. That's hard for you to. That's hard for them to deny if they're saying that, especially one of them come out and say that, hey man, look, what he's saying is true.
Mm-hmm.
Man. So I'm definitely gonna. I want to look and see what Gene Deal has to say about this. If he remembers this situation, what he has to say about this. Um, when you came out the room, did you see Gene anymore that night?
No, I never seen him after I came out. The next day, I didn't see him after that.
You didn't even see him again after that.
I never seen him again after that.
Wow, man. Wow. And then everything is where it is right now, man. It's crazy, man. Let me ask you a question. How long you think he's gonna end up? How long you think that they're gonna give him? You think they're gonna give him life, man?
No, they're giving 35 years.
So that's basically life. He gonna die
I
in
mean,
prison.
yeah, it's definitely a life sentence for him.
Man, bro.
But like I told the other guy, I know why this case came about, and it's fucked up as this is. What happened and all these things, dude. I ain't gonna lie. I reach out to the man. I reach out to his legal team, to tell them, put them on game. But they haven't reached out to me. They haven't even acknowledged the emails that I sent. So
Hold on. Whose legal team you talking about?
Diddy's.
So Diddy's team hasn't even acknowledged your emails that you sent them.
Yeah, bro. I'll show you. I ain't got I ain't got nothing to hide.
Hold on, let me put this out for you. So they can't see your password, man.
No, they can't nobody see no password on here.
Oh, okay. And how many times have you tried to contact him? You said.
Let's see right here. So this is his lawyer, what's her name? Alessandra Shapiro. So this is the email I sent to her. And, I attached the letter that that I wrote that he could read and see for himself what I was saying. I even attached pictures that I've shown you. You see the picture right there.
Right.
So I wanted them. I didn't want his legal team to think, oh, this is just some random weirdo that's just trying to, get some kind of fucking fame or 15 minutes of fame, whatever. So, I wrote the letter. I typed it out. I attached the picture. I sent it to her. I sent it to, let's see. Oh, this is even, so you see, this is a letter that went to the prison. Okay. And the prison literally wrote on here, need address, no P.O. box, which is bullshit. P.O. box is their legal valid address, but they returned it to me saying, but anyway, the reason I sent it to him directly is because his legal team hasn't corresponded at all. But I wrote letters to her. I wrote letters to what's the other guys? Shit, I can't remember the other guy's name, but I wrote all those people. And
let me ask you this question, because somebody's asking me this question too. Did you? And you don't have to show us anything. I don't want you to even show us, but do you have any pictures of you with those girls?
No.
Okay. Mm-mm. Do you remember what those girls look like?
Absolutely.
Okay. Something that never left your mind, huh?
No, I definitely remember what those girls look like.
Okay. Man. Okay, man. Well, I appreciate having you on, Randy. And Randy, if any of the news stations want to get in contact with you, if any of the networks want to get in contact with you, how can they get in contact with you?
I mean, my phone number, my email's on the lawsuit, but it's not hard to find me.
Okay. All right, man. I appreciate you coming in and telling your story, man. Man, I salute to you, man, for having, just the wherewithal to come out here and speak about it. A lot of people, are, like you said, they don't want to put their names to it. They'll file a lawsuit, file under Jane Doe or John Doe. They don't want to put their names to it. But you putting your name to it, man. You put your name to it. You coming out, you showing pictures, you putting yourself at the event, And so, I mean, man, bro. And you're saying that there's people that were actually witnesses that you were in that room, and you're saying that you have more information that you haven't displayed to us yet. Now, on our way out, the information you haven't displayed, does that information prove even more of your allegations of what you're saying?
I mean, it's just gonna solidify what I've already put out there.
Okay, and then come time, if this goes to discovery, then you will enter that into evidence, right?
Of course.
Okay. Man, I salute you, brother. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you coming on in and letting everybody know what's going on. You got a lot of people that's in here watching tonight, 18, 1900, 2,000 people that was in here live watching you. So a lot of people got to hear your story between this interview and the interview you did with Donat. And so I'm pretty sure that you're probably going to be getting a slew of more interviews about this, and people are going to be asking you questions about this situation. So, hey, man, I salute you, Randy, man. I appreciate you coming on in, man. And again, Sean Diddy Combs and his team, they've denied all these allegations. They've said that basically all these people that have accused him are coming with fabricated and false stories. So I guess we'll have to see in court.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man.
All right, man. Have a good night.
All right. You too, brother.